Hey guys, what's going on? What's going on? Everybody's doing great today on this Friday morning. I am Lee Godbold. For those of you who don't know me, Lee Godbold, co-founder of Junk Doctors, Junk Removal and Hauling, built up to a $2 million a year junk removal business in North Carolina, and Junk Removal Authority. You can find a lot of great information, no more information, or there's nowhere on the web that presents more information on starting, growing, and running a junk removal business than our website, junkra.com, junkremovalauthority.com. It can be shortened to junkra.com. Make sure you check it out and read some of the great content we have available on that site. What I want to talk to everybody today about is, when do you need to get off the truck? This is often a controversial subject that I put out there. I always enjoy the feedback, some of it fairly aggressive feedback we receive, but that's fine. Doesn't affect me whatsoever. So I like to know that I'm saying stuff that some people agree with and some people disagree with. You should always be firm in your beliefs. There's 50% of people always going to disagree with you. 50% of people are going to agree with you. Donald Trump won an election on that. He didn't care about the 50% that didn't vote for him. He cared about the 50% of people that did. Whether you like his policies or not, we're not going to talk about that in this video. But that's a great point, as so many politicians try to appeal to everybody. That ain't going to happen. You've got your opinion. You got your ways you want to do stuff. Be firm in those beliefs. Everybody else that disagrees with you, well, they're welcome to their opinion. You've got yours, they've got theirs. So when do you get off the truck? Number one, some of these franchises, Junk King is one I know, they always say they don't want people on the truck. They want business people running the business. And part of that is correct, but when you first start, I firmly believe you need to be on that vehicle when you first start. Now, if you're an older guy, if you're up in your 60s and 70s, maybe even 50s, and even 40s, I mean, you can start to, this job's going to wear on you a fair amount. And in my case, when I was doing it for a while, or in Christian's case, when he was doing it for a while, and upper 20s, you still start feeling it when you're sitting there and you've been doing 5 jobs a day. So if you're older, a little bit older, you've got money, and you can afford to hire people. You don't need income right off the bat. Maybe you hire 2 guys that go out with you on the truck, but you should be out on the truck learning these jobs, learning how to quote, learning how best to remove items, the angles to take doors at, when you need to take doors off, when you need to pad a door. You should always be recognizing those situations. And when you encounter a job, like if it's a job that takes a lot longer than you ever expected, such as a clean out job outside. Anytime we ever do a job where there's just been a bunch of stuff that's been piled outside, we pretty much always know that some stuff has been buried. There's going to be more down there than we can possibly know. So we either, one, need to quote the job a lot higher at kind of a max price, let the customer know we'll bring it down, or tell the customer that, hey, this is what we can see. This is what we quote, what we can see, but once we get under here, there's going to be a lot more stuff. We have no idea how much is going to be underneath, how much is buried. Once we see that, we can let you know a better idea of cost. So it's one way or the other. That's a situation, if you haven't been on the truck, it's going to be tough for you to recognize. So how are you going to be able to train your people if you've never been on a junk removal truck? You can't. And I think it's a minimum of 2 months on a truck before you have a good idea of what the heck you're doing and how to train somebody. So you should at least start out on the truck, because you need to know what the team goes through. You need to learn how to quote, especially those unique jobs we were talking about. And you've got to be able to train properly. Those are the main reasons you have to be on the truck at the start to get that knowledge. Now, once you understand the job, about 2 months in potentially, and you're committed to working on stuff even when you're not on the truck. So you're committed to sales, you're committed to cold calls, you're committed to going to Chamber of Commerce meetings, you're committed to making sure your truck's maintained, you're committed to answering those phone calls that come in for your business. Once you've committed yourself to that, and you don't rely on the junk removal income, you have some other income coming in, you've got money you've saved up, you can continue living comfortably without having to make much money from your junk removal business. At that point, it could be time to mostly move off the truck. Now, you should never step away completely from operations, 100%. At some point later on down the line, if you hire a manager, make sure they are still getting in on jobs. They're stopping in on jobs and making sure things are getting done correctly. They're interacting with customers. When you get off the truck as well, you need to be willing to make follow-up phone calls. So when a job is finished, you yourself need to pick the phone up. You need to call and make sure everything went well with that pickup. As you get larger and larger, you can have somebody else do those follow-up calls. I still suggest you routinely make a few calls on your own and make sure your business is being run the way it should be run. So that you could move off a little sooner than is necessarily possible if you don't require the income from your junk removal business. And it'll ultimately help your business out for you to get out there and be doing sales and getting that extra exposure, getting your name out there. However, when you reach, there's a time when you must get off the truck. When you reach a certain volume, and you get busy enough that you being on the truck is actually slowing down and hampering your junk removal operation. What I mean is, by about a year in business, my phone was ringing so much that if I was on the truck, it would slow us down. I remember there were jobs I would do where I didn't lift a single thing. We'd be there for 45 minutes. The person I was working with, the team member I was working with, literally did all the work, because I was on the phone nonstop. So you got a few things going on here. One, it's unfair to him to have to do everything. It's going to be slower as well, so it's going to cost you more money in paying him, because it's a lot quicker to do something with two people than one, quite often. Number three, it does not look good to a customer for somebody to be on the phone the entire time. The customer's sitting here waiting around. They thought they were getting two people to work, and it's turned out it's just one. So you're slowing down the business. When you're driving, it could be unsafe. You might have to pull over. That's slowing down the business. Or if you're talking on your phone while you're driving, that's increasing the likelihood of an accident that could result in a lawsuit and really negatively affect your business. So the other opposite end is some people, what they do when they're on the job and the phone rings is they just don't answer the phone. That is incorrect as well. Because a lot of junk removal customers are just going to keep calling down the line. So you missed that call, you missed out on that job, you missed out on that repeat customer later on down the line. A repeat customer will oftentimes leave a voicemail message or wait for a call back. A new customer, 80% of the time, is not going to leave a message. They're going to work their way on down the list. So when you get to the point you hamper your business, you need to be moving off the truck. Oftentimes that means you're doing 4 or 5 jobs a day on one truck, or maybe you've moved into a second truck. So you get to 4 or 5 days on one truck, you need to look to get that second truck, you need to look to hire people, you need to look to have people that can quote jobs and be a team leader. Maybe you run that second truck part-time until you get things up wide open, but at that point you need to be making your way off the truck so you can better run your business. After 2 years, you should be off the truck. If you've been doing your marketing correctly, if you've been getting your name out there, if you've been investing in your business, the longest period of time is 2 years you should ever be on that truck, because I can guarantee you by that you are hampering your growth. And it's probably 6 months to a year. It's probably more realistically 6 months to a year you need to be making your way off that truck if you're doing things like they should be done. Now, the alternative to this is you have a wife or you hire somebody to take care of most of the business end of things. You still need to be involved. Don't just be out there on the truck doing jobs, and making sure the job stuff goes good. You also need to make sure that the phones are being answered properly, that your books are being taken care of properly, that the stuff on the back end is being done right, and you should be actively involved in sales. The business owner is going to sell the business a heck of a lot better than anybody else is. You need to be involved in sales. So one of the other issues that I've mentioned very often before when it comes to, we were talking about hampering your business. If you're on the truck all the time and you're required to be on the truck all the time, you're going to get yourself worn out. You're going to get hurt. You're going to miss out on income. You're going to want to take a vacation. You're going to miss out on income. So I could leave town. We're already thinking about doing a trip out west next year. And though I'll work some throughout mobile, because with JRA I can work mobile, I could leave a month, come back, Junk Doctors is going to be clicking on all cylinders still. Nothing will have changed when I leave. I only work maybe 5 to 10 hours a month on Junk Doctors as it is right now. So it's more like I'm on an extended vacation right now. But I could leave town for a month, come back, and they've still been making the same amount of money. I haven't made any less money when I go on vacation. If you are on a truck all the time, you go on vacation, you've missed out on income. Guys, that's a job. That is an hourly job. That's not a salary job. That is an hourly job. You don't have a business when you can't leave town. You can't go to your son's soccer game, daughter's volleyball game. You can't go to the beach for a few days. You can't go out of town for 2 weeks or a month and still be earning income. Now, that's not instantaneous. I'm not saying that's going to happen immediately, but within 5 years, it could happen if you grow your business correctly, if you put people in the correct places, the correct different functions of your business. You can build one that runs without you. Then you truly have a business you could turn around and sell should you want to, or you have a business that's going to keep just bringing you in income year after year after year, irregardless of you being involved in it every single day. So I want to make this clear. Staying on the truck, there's no way you're going to build a large junk removal company by staying on the truck. Is it completely wrong for everybody? No. No, it's not. But those aren't the people I'm talking to. I'm talking to the people that want to get out there. They want to build something large. They want to build something that they've got unlimited amounts of freedom in their life, that they're making more money than they can possibly ever imagine. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars a year between salary and profit is very well possible in this. If you're staying on a junk removal truck, you're not going to make, if you can bust your ass, you can make $100,000 with you on the truck. Absolutely bust your ass before taxes. $100,000 on the truck. Most people out there that are on the truck daily make $50,000, $60,000 a year, and that's not a bad salary in many parts of the country. Now, if you're in, depending on where you are, that's not bad. $50,000, $60,000 a year is a comfortable living. I'm not knocking those people. However, many of those people that are out there making that are afraid to grow. A lot of them have tried growing. They've been knocked on their ass. And instead of expanding, they've contracted, and they're content at continuing on exactly where they are. Because I can tell you, those of you that are going to try and expand your business, you're going to have to spend a lot of money to do it. You're going to have to hire a lot of people. You're going to have to hire some professionals. You're going to have to spend a bunch of money on advertising. It's going to scare the ever-living shit out of you every once in a while. I've been scared a lot, even with JRA right now. JRA doesn't make money right now. We got three. We got three, almost four, 3.5 people. I say 3.5 because part of them are junk doctors or the partner, our partner in on the web end of things that invested in it. So part of them work there, but we got about 3 people we're paying, and and it's negative every month. Negative every month. But we have a vision. We have a huge vision of what it can be. We're building the stuff. We're investing the money in the infrastructure to build up this awesome resource for people, not only to get jobs, but also a bunch of free information available on junkra.com. And the vision is eventually there's a few hundred companies that make up JRA, a few hundred locally owned junk removal businesses that make up JRA throughout the U.S. and Canada. And with that, we're able to send them jobs by a great national branding and awesome web presence. So that's the vision that we're working towards. We're a year or two out from making money with JRA. And luckily, I've got a junk removal business that I can live off of that I don't have to actively work in. But that way I can devote 60 hours a week and have no return, have a negative return. So that is the grand vision. Now, the nice thing with junk removal is you shouldn't be losing much money when you move off the truck. If you do it correctly, you shouldn't lose a whole lot more money. Your returns are going to be a lot quicker. Within a year, you can be making okay money. Within 2 years, money. And within 3 years, you can be making great money, $80,000 to $100,000 plus in 3 years. And then by year 5, it could be $150,000, $200,000, maybe $300,000, depending on your market and depending on what you do to grow it. It starts with getting off the truck. That's your first major step. That's your first leap of faith. Get off that truck, start building your business, start getting exposure, get uncomfortable. A lot of y'all get comfortable in that truck. You're not going to get anywhere if you're comfortable. Get uncomfortable and stay uncomfortable. If you get to the point you become comfortable, that means you need to make that next step, whatever that might be. Hey, we're here for you guys, 919-617-1975. Again, check out junkra.com, all those great articles. And if you are in business now, or if you're looking to get in business, we need more content, and it's going to help you out too. If you want to be a guest writer or a guest video creator for Junk Removal Authority, we will run a link back to your webpage, your very own webpage. That's going to help out on search engine optimization, and it's only going to help the longer we're in business, the longer we're around, the more content we get. Google will recognize us as being an authority. We call ourselves the Junk Removal Authority. We want Google thinking of us as the Junk Removal Authority. And if that's that case, if you're a guest writer, that right there, you're a guest writer, that can be thousands and thousands of dollars you're earning on almost every article by writing that and getting that link back to your website, which is going to boost that ranking way up. JunkRA.com. Call us 919-617-1975. Again, I'm Lee Godbold, co-founder of Junk Removal Authority. Hope you all found this helpful. We'll talk to everybody real soon.